why I'm being gentle with this. This is a video that I did not want to make. Greetings, welcome to some sadness, kind of an LGR public service announcement, a reminder of how badly things can go, sharing a bit of my despair. So this right here, well, it's a computer in a case, but unfortunately, I don't think there's very much left. It looks good on the outside, right? And it's all packed up and in this protective fabric, you know, and it was in a box that was larger and full of all kinds of protective materials. You know, the kind of thing that you would assume would be just fine. And while it is heavy, like, I don't know, 14, 15 pounds, I really just assumed that the box and the protective kind of nature of the packaging that was in there, plus the fact that I got this from a seller that I've bought from many times and had no issues with things arriving. Yeah, I thought it would be okay. Well, I was very wrong. Let's just open this up, rip the Band-Aid off. Although up here, you know, we're okay. We actually have some things in here that survive just fine. So a floppy disk of startup software. Well, actually, never mind. That didn't survive either, did it? That has bent so much that I can't really even do that anymore. Dang. Anyway, we have this little Logitech mouse. Neat little serial mouse. And the power supply still intact. Wish they'd made the computer out of whatever that plastic is, because here's the thing. When I got this and opened it up, I was shocked and just zipped it right back, because I have not seen this kind of carnage in a while. Oh my goodness. So let's pretend that's fine. Yeah, this is a Chaplet Haliken. I love that name. That's honestly a big reason that I've wanted one of these for a long time. The Haliken is just such a silly name. I don't even know if that's how it's said, but I just imagine it's like Pelican, but Haliken. Anyway, the Chaplet Haliken, a 286 laptop from 1989. So yeah, I had planned a video on this, but suffice it to say that's not going to happen. It is just dreadful. I mean, maybe this still works. I don't know. Maybe we'll try it out here, but I just wanted this to act as kind of a warning, right? That, like, you know what? Even if you package things pretty well, sometimes it just doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just not worth shipping a thing because, my goodness, there's like nothing left. It just disintegrated. Now, having shipped hundreds of computers over the years, I'm no stranger to brittle plastics, you know. Usually I have way better experiences than this, though. It really just depends on the plastic. You know, like I have things from the early 80s, and the plastic is like as rock solid now as it ever was. But I also have things from the late 90s that are as brittle as this. And you know, it's just, you barely do anything, and this kind of stuff is just terribly, terribly brittle. Like peanut brittle, but worse. It's so sad. To really drive the point home here, I'm sorry in advance, but it's just so easy to break this. It's terrible. Like, I swear I've come across more durable chips than this. Honestly, the experience isn't that different breaking a Dorito versus breaking the Haliken. Like, I really can't blame the seller at all. And again, I've bought many things from them, no problem whatsoever, CRTs included. And usually those are the ones that fare the worst, right? But this has gotta be the saddest thing I've seen in a while. Oh, this sucks. Well, anyway, maybe there are some serviceable parts in here, but look, this is not what I signed up for. Oh goodness. Before this was shipped, the only crack that I knew of was this one right here, and that's, oddly enough, still kind of connected. But yeah, looking at the photos, you can see that it actually, other than that one crack, was a kind of beautiful looking machine and quite a rare one. You know, the LA30A, which is this model here, was, well, you know, I wanted to get a more detailed history at some point if I can ever find another one of these. But yeah, it was one of the earliest laptops, portable computers that was fully battery powered despite having a built-in hard disk, which that alone made it fascinating to me. But the overall design of it, the way it looked, I mean, it's very similar to Toshiba T3200, for example. It's that style of computer, but it's this chaplet company that was around for a little bit right at the tail end of the 80s and early 90s, and nobody really remembers them. I just wanted to feature it because I thought it was really cool. And it's a 286 in there with a hard drive, CGA display, and then also underneath it now, let's get that out of the way, you have this whole section back here, which just lifts off now, but you know, check this out. There are 2 ISA slots for expansion cards. And so, I mean, you can get like a half size 8-bit and a 16-bit ISA card in there. So you can add a sound blaster, a modem, whatever. Like, this is, or would have been, such a neat thing to dive into and mess around with. And yeah, I don't even know if it was fully working, but I had a feeling that I could get it working because I've generally had decent luck with 286 portables and laptops, and I had some hope for this one, but it was not meant to be, apparently. But you know what? I can at least look at what's sort of left over. Like the battery itself, which is nickel cadmium NiCad. I'm sure it's long dead, but from what I was reading online, it's actually just a bunch of C-cell batteries just kind of soldered together, I think, in sequence. Oh yeah, that screw's not even attached. I really am curious what kind of plastic this is because it's just so bad. And it's unfortunate because, again, there are so many other machines from this period and even older that hold up very well. It feels different than this type of plastic here. That's more like your typical ABS. But this, I don't know what that is. It almost super hardened styrofoam. And I do also see a barrel battery in there, which doesn't even appear to have leaked. Yeah. Hitachi Hitanica? 2400 milliamp hours, 1989. Yeah, while doing research on this, before I realized it would show up in pieces, I found a blog post where somebody was rebuilding this battery because they're all dead. It's looking to come apart anyway. But yeah, look at this. Almost looks like a explosive or something, which in a way it kind of is, I suppose. But yeah, it's just a bunch of C-cell batteries, 369 of those, I guess, maybe 10. And that's what that is. Nickel cadmium. But this actually provided enough power to get the backlit display going, all the 286 stuff, as well as a hard disk. And I actually haven't checked to see if the hard disk is in here. I don't want to destroy any of the actual electronics because I think they're probably intact. I am going to see if we can get anything out of this. Maybe Frankenstein this into some kind of creature back from the dead. But oh yeah, hard drive right there. And in fact, it says, and written on this little label, 40 megabytes. So this would be the, I think, higher end one. This is also offered with a 20 from what I recall. Computer World from May 1990 here has a comparison of a bunch of these. By then, a lot of other companies were doing batteries in their laptops, but Chaplet was still around, of course. So you got $2,200 for the 20 megabyte one in 1990. Also had the 40 meg, plus if you added things like the 1 or 4 megabyte memory board, I mean, this could have easily been a $3,000 computer when it first came out. Oh, that's actually kind of a nice keyboard too. Oh, still feels solid. Dang, wonder what kind of switches we got going on here. Dude. All right, we're looking through a bunch of different mechanical switches online. It looks like these are Mitsumi miniature mechanical yellow switches. And they do indeed have a Cherry MX style cross on top. As you can see side by side in this Wikimedia Commons photo, and yeah, you know, it's a pretty neat little thing. I kind of like those. And it'd be nice if we can get this to work, just so I can try it. So most of the motherboard seems to be under the keyboard here. We have like a little area back there just for that riser. A lot of the ports. I'm not sure if it's all one large board or what. Oh, and the little speaker that went right there, or it's still there. Barely. Ah, really didn't mean to do that. Oh, poor thing. Crap, I barely put any pressure on that. Everything is just coming apart. Oh man, that is an interesting little plasticky speaker. So we got this little guy attached to the motherboard, maybe the RAM expansion, or a RAM expansion. And our BIOS right here too, look at that. 86 AMI or AMI BIOS, one of the oldest I've seen from them. Oh. Save like just this one piece of plastic with the logo on it. Treat it with the utmost care, because like you breathe on this thing wrong and it will just crack to pieces. And yeah, it does seem to be just one long connected motherboard right there. Just a big cutout over here, so it's very L-shaped. So they had this one piece just kind of dangling around. That's literally just the power and battery charger LED there. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering here that if I just have things hooked up that need to be, and nothing is like touching anything that shouldn't, maybe you can just try powering it on. There's so many tons of little pieces of plastic in there, but that shouldn't mess with anything as long as it's not like stuck inside of a fan. Gosh, there's so much more still in there, like it's ridiculous. It just exploded practically. I don't know how reasonable it is to 3D print like an entire new enclosure for this. Really, the only thing I'd be concerned with power is filter or a little tantalum or tiny little capacitors popping, letting out their smoke. Honestly, this whole thing in general just strikes me as slightly sketchy, I guess. Oh man, I think that's the original, yeah, like plastic coating. Wow. Man, this would have been so nice if it was nice. It's kind of wild that after all this, the lid still is completely intact. None of it's cracked. Do we even have a power switch anymore? This is where it plugs in. Yeah, there's an on-off switch. So, oh yeah, that's still there. Great. All right, you sketchy weirdo. We'll see what happens. The fan jittered. It's jittering. And that's it. No activity from anything else. No weird smells coming off of it though. And like that fan just kind of went tick, 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 and then tick, 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 every few seconds. That's all that was happening. Just to be sure though, I'm going to plug that battery, which I'm sure is dead, back in here and see if it needs it. Some of these do have to have something connected just to like complete the circuit or whatever. Whoa. Well, I guess that was that. Holy crap. Oh yeah, we got a BIOS and memory test happening. Hard disk spinning, sounding pretty healthy. Dude. Fans working? Wasn't sure if we'd get here or not. All right, so 2 megabytes of RAM, 286. CMOS system options not set. I'm sure that barrel battery is toast, but not leaking. Dude, keyboard's working. Oh my goodness. Arrgh. This is so close to being awesome. I mean, this display looks great for what it is. Hard disk auto sleep mode, LCD auto sleep, sure. It detected it as a Type 17 drive. Oh, heard the floppy disk too, or the floppy drive rather. Seeking. All right, hard drive is trying to do stuff. There's like one little bit of kind of weirdness right there with the LCD, but other than that, it really does look good. And the flicker is worse on camera than in real life. Anyway, yeah, unfortunately not seeing any kind of hard disk loading. I don't even know if that's set correctly though. So either way, that's awesome. It's a working computer. It's not the prettiest, but dadgummit, it's got some heart and soul left in it. just not much of a body. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is, well, 80s garbage plastic. It's so bad. I can hardly describe how easy it is to just snap that. But yeah, there is enough here that we can definitely get the general dimensions and everything. This screen's all intact. The bottom is, well, kind of, sort of intact. Let me get this. So that kind of goes there. This kind of goes here. This kind of goes here. There's the front piece that goes under there. Like, there's a lot of really big pieces here. And you can get the general kind of dimensions from all that's still remaining, right? Like, it does kind of piece back together. It's just incredibly sad. I mean, you can see the potential, right? It deserves to live. It's so close, yet so very far. And this poor PC speaker, I've never seen one exactly like this. Like, it's like it was just glued on there. But there has to be something connecting to something. I just can't tell what. Let's hear that start one more time because the hard drive sound is glorious. Love those old Connors. So we do have an error on there now, non-system disk or disk error. Y2K compatible. Yeah, so it is detected as type 17 every single time. And yeah, type 17, that is the right one. And I looked it up on the Connor drive that this is, the CP3044. It is type 17, so it's either empty or just isn't reading. So I'm gonna try a little system disk to put together real quick. It's reading. Oh man, yeah, even the floppy drive works. DOS 3.3. This is just really annoying at this point. The fact that it's working like so well. Nice screen, nice pretty much everything except for the actual body, the plastic. Yeah, thought I had a copy of that on here. So unfortunately, no PC speaker, but I do have CRAS. So it's not XT class, it's AT, so we'll go for fast computer. Yeah, look at that. Dude, that's awesome. Hey, Flerbner, turn off all the lights. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty close to what I'm seeing in terms of the backlight. It's still... I got the visible refresh and everything with the shutter being what it is, but there's a bit of that in real life too. So yeah, I'm really fond of these types of screens. There's something comforting about it. That's awesome. Look at that. Shame about the PC speaker, but dude. What a cool little thing. Maybe someday we'll find some kind of a solution to like getting this rehoused. Or maybe we can turn it into a desktop. Maybe, I don't know. Something needs to be done with this. Like either a different kind of luggable situation or I don't know. Ideas are welcome. Obviously, it would be ideal to get it back like as close as it possibly could be to the original. I still want to do like a proper retrospective and everything in terms of like talking about the history of chaplet systems and this computer in general and just showing it off kind of as it was. I mean, it would just be wonderful to really get this fully restored, but I don't know how feasible that is just due to the casing situation. I also love those orange little LEDs there. I'm assuming LEDs, I don't know. They're just illuminating and looking lovely. It's such a pleasing, cool system. And I really don't think I'm going to be able to find another LA30A model anytime soon. And then, of course, getting the thing to me is going to be a whole issue through shipping, as we've seen. But yeah, this is pretty much where I'm gonna leave it. Like I said, this is just kind of an LGR PSA, just saying, hey, you know, even when something is decently packaged and it looks to be in good shape and would survive shipping in the shipping box, it didn't even look externally damaged. Everything appeared to be fine. It might not be worth a risk. So if you're looking to grab something old and interesting, and especially if it's rare like this, absolutely think twice about shipping, even if you do a good job with it. Some things are just too brittle to risk. And the poor chaplet Halcyon, I'm sad to see this in this state. I still really want to cover it in some form. I don't know. I'll at least check the hard drive contents if that proves to be readable. I was going to back up the startup floppy just in case that was anything interesting, but so it's almost U-shaped. Anyway, yeah, that's all for this video. I'm gonna be working on something else that's more intact, so stick around for that if you're interested in seeing something that actually is together and works. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and take caution and care in shipping within the vintage computer world.